All right, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mod 6. Hope everyone's doing great today. I know that I am. We are hopping right back into our game save, and not a whole lot done since the last episode that you guys saw, at least at the time of this recording. I am recording this, what is it? Today is Monday the 18th, and I'm recording it a little bit before we go live. Over on Twitch, if you're interested in checking out any of my live streams, the link is down in the description below. We typically play this game save, so there will probably be some updates to what we've done on stream or off camera in the next episode that you guys will be seeing on Saturday. But anywho, so nothing to recap you on around things that we have done. We still have a bunch of stuff in our inventory. We have a bunch of books on us from doing some enchantments. There's one thing I did actually want to mention, though, and rightfully so. I should give a shout out to this person because they have been leaving quite a few comments, and I really appreciate their support. Not only their support, but obviously everyone's support who leaves comments on the channel. But I am 100% going to mispronounce your username, so apologies on that. Oranos 1988. You've left a couple comments on our recent All the Mod 6 episodes, so thank you for your support. I really, really do appreciate it. But they were saying that if we actually use Unobtainium with our silent gear setup, we can get weapons that are even stronger than the base All-the-Modium weapons, at least for our sword. I think they were saying you could right off the bat get like a extremely high attack, and then adding onto it, it makes it even better. I'd have to look back to 100%, you know, go off of their comments on what they were saying, but over 100 damage, that's what it was. Over 100 damage possible with a base sword from Silent Gear using Unobtainium, which is obviously more than what we currently have. So we might switch gears and actually do that, but for the time being, we have this bad boy, so I don't see a reason just to switch yet, and we also don't have any more Unobtainium. We are actually out of it, so if we look at all the Modium, actually, I'm sorry, we have 3 pieces of it, so we could get it up and going if we really wanted to, but that's all we have currently. I mean, we could try it out and see how it is. It's fine. It's okay for the time being. We might try it out maybe on a live stream, and I'll let you guys know how it ultimately goes. But I have different plans for today. That's why I want to prioritize some other stuff first off. I also do want to mention, guys, we hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. It's crazy. At the time of recording, I think we're at 1,004. So I really want to appreciate or show my appreciation to all of you guys for the support that you've been showing the channel over the past year and a half now. So we might do something special. I haven't 100% decided just yet on it. Maybe a nice long live stream or something like that. So and maybe I've already done it, but I will announce it probably on the Discord. So definitely join the community if you're interested in any of the community activities that we do. So let's go and check out something first and foremost, which is storing all of these books. We have way too many books. We need to switch our chest over to a crate. I think it's a crate or a barrel. I think it's a barrel, if I could spell. All right, can we do a barrel? Can we like upgrade from a chest to a barrel? I don't think we can, unfortunately. I think, yeah, I don't think we can. I think we could put a barrel down, which is nice. And I think it'll offer us maybe a little bit more space than what we were rocking over here. But yeah, so today is going to be pretty much focused around connecting and expanding on our refined storage network. Yeah, we got to get rid of this. What happened to all of my stuff here? We do need a better pick. I really would like to get the pick. Well, we could even try to get the pick from Silent Gear instead of what we're using currently. We have so much stuff to put in here. Holy smokes. Not that. But yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of stuff on here. And honestly, I should have just upgraded right to a copper barrel here. I probably actually had a diamond one just chilling, and I have completely forgot about that. All right, so barrel to an iron, barrel to a copper. I mean, we could go right to like a different one if we wanted to, or to a diamond one. Oh, you need to have all of them in order to do it. What can we do here? Iron seems to be the best one. Let's go with that, and let's get this bad boy upgraded here. Just like so. and we'll get some of these items put away. Don't know why I have so much stuff on me. Gotta turn my volume down here on my headset, but we should be solid with that. So, as you guys know, with our setup, we don't have a large reach for our wireless crafting grid. Pretty much, we can only get 48 blocks away, which should be going away right about here. This is where we lose it. So we can get it just on the steps, but that is about it. I hear you, spider. Where you at? There you at. Yeah, this just completely destroys mobs. But I want to change that. I want to expand on our refined storage setup, and it's just something we need to do before we do anything else. So there's one main way to go about it with refined storage, and that is with network transmitters, network receivers, and then network cards. So pretty much this can help extend our power. Now there's another component that goes then along with it that I would like to do, which is right here from the power mod. Now there's at least two ways to do wireless power transmission in this game. There is Flux Networks, which is amazing, and we will get into it. And then there's also the power option, which is through Endergate. Now these bad boys aren't too bad to make. You do need to progress a little bit in power in order to get to this point in time with it, but they will put power onto a grid for you and wirelessly transmit it. So if we go to our manual for the power mod here, and we go to Endergate, you can read a little bit more on what exactly they do. They're transferring energy between adjacent blocks and the Ender network. Basically meaning it just takes power from a cable that you have hooked to it or a power source you have hooked to it and sends it off wirelessly into the Ender sphere, and it will connect to other Ender gates. Unlike the Ender cell, you cannot upgrade the network from it. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but we'll put that away. So we do need 2 of those to get going though. So unfortunately, you guys know what that means. It's time for a little bit of crafting here. So luckily I have laid everything out here. We pretty much have everything we need for the Endergate, and it's nice because it does make 4 of them other than the Ender core. We do need to get the Ender core going. So I don't know, do we have an Eye of Ender? We do not have an Eye of Ender up and going. So let's get one of those. Pretty straightforward to do. All right, then we are going to need a capacitor and a dielectric casing. Pretty straightforward items to get here. Let's go into here. Let's go to the power mod. And then let's get these guys going. We are pretty low on items. Holy smokes, I did not realize how low we were on certain components here. The dielectric casing, pretty straightforward to get. And then finally, the basic tiny capacitor. We're going to need a normal capacitor. We're going to need a block of redstone. It would also be very nice to get into some automated crafting. But that will obviously then be at a different time. So, all right, we have what we need. This will make 4 of them, which is perfect. So let's get this, this, and this. So let's head over to our Electrolyzer. I believe that's what it's called, right? If I'm not mistaken. Energizing orb. That was close. Same idea. As you guys see, we do have 3 basic energizing rods set up for this now. And the basic ones, let me see here. Let me give you accurate numbers here. They transfer a max output of 50 FE per tick. And they hold 100K. They actually go relatively quickly when you have 3 in line like this. Now this does take a little bit of power to do. Let me see again. This will take 50,000 FE, but we can definitely handle that. So we'll put that, and that in there, and we will get that up and going just like so. And look, it goes really, really quick. So that should be done in no time. Now, we will need then on top of that some of our other things here. So network transmitter, receiver, and card. So let's get the transmitter going first. We should have everything we need for it. Let's get the receiver next. Once again, I have prepped, I know for once, prepped for some stuff. And then we need a network card, which again, I have prepped for. Wow, look at me. Actually being prepared for once. No cables required achievement has been made by us. And then we can get our Ender core. That will be perfect because we can put that in there. And then we should be able to get the Endergates. Now these guys do take some obsidian and hardened energy cables. I did not go over those, but you do need to have energized steel in order to do it, and the hardened capacitors to do that. Now these, again, you need the energizing orb, and it's just iron and gold. We've gone over that in a previous episode, so if you're curious on that, definitely check out previous episodes. Anywho, so that should be everything. We should be able to get our ender gates, which is perfect, so we can start off with using these bad boys. Now, we do want it hooked up to the network here, so let's see where we can add it in. It looks like I had made a space for this to be expanded, and we never ultimately expanded it, so we probably could just stick this bad boy. I didn't want it there necessarily. Can we stick it over there? We can. Perfect. Now that mossy cobblestone probably went, yep, into our dang cannel here. We'll have to put that back, but that should be... Basic universal cable has nothing because it is putting power onto the... out into the ender sphere here, but now we have a way to wirelessly send our power, and it did not say that there is a range on this. I would like to mention that as well. It did not say that it will only work in a certain range, but we do have our other items here. So I'm jumping ahead of myself with running to where I want to set this up at. So we are going to need a transmitter. So the transmitter will actually, I think we want the transmitter on this end. Hang on, let me double check here. All right, so yes, transmitter goes on this end, and we'll have to put the network card in it once we get it set up. I don't know if we need another controller for this, honestly. I'm trying to recall. I had this all prepped in my mind, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I think, I don't know if we need a controller. I don't think we do. We'll find out relatively quick. But I did want to go down here and put it down in our nice little nether area, because we are constantly down here, or I feel like we're down here a decent amount, and we can't access our storage from down here, which is not good. We don't want that. We want to be able to access our storage from down here. So it probably makes sense to maybe set it up not necessarily right next to things here, but in a centralized area. So maybe this would be our best place. So we'll place it right here. And then we do need to get some power to it, obviously. So let's grab one of our ender gates here, and if we put it on the side, I believe we can. Or do we need a universal cable? We might need a universal cable for this, which I did not think ahead on. All right, hold on 1 second here. All right, guys, so this has been a big pain in the butt. So I thought it was pretty straightforward, at least according to the manual for power and everything like this. It doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't really say like anything in here about what you need to do, but I'm going to run you through some things. So first and foremost, obviously we had the Endergate up and going. Well, in order to utilize Endergates, you have to have an Ender cell going. So we did need to go through and make an Ender cell. I made the hardened one just to stay in line with the hardened gates that we had been using. Now you do need an Ender core for this, so we did have to make up another one, but pretty straightforward, easy to make. So from there, you need to hook it up to the power that you would like to transfer. So for us, I wanted it to be coming off of our energy cell here. Now, as you can see, I have plopped it right next to it, and it shows power in it. But, and I don't know if it's going to do it since I've already done this. Yeah, it's not going to do it because I already done it. I have already done it. But I'll run you through what needs to be done with it. Actually, can I take it and place it in my inventory to make it a basic one again? I think I can. And then we plop it down. No, it still shows it. Okay. So in order to use it, you'll plop it down and it won't show that any energy is transferring, even if you have it set up to receive energy from a valid power source. Now, what you need to do, which the manual does not tell you you need to do, is take a energy source, or an energy holder, I should say, like a battery. So if I'll go to power, you go to a basic battery, very, very easy to get going. You'll want to take one of these, you'll have it in your hand, you'll go into the inventory here, and then you want to shift click it into this GUI here, or this interface. Once it does that, then it'll start storing power. So strange, and it doesn't seem to matter what it it is necessarily. I mean, I put in 100K one. I mean, I'm guessing you probably could have put a larger one in and maybe it would do even more. I mean, we could try it really quick and see if we can even bump it up more than what it was to hold like 1 million. But well, 1 million is a lot. I don't think we really need it to store 1 million at a time. I think 100K would be fine. But I do feel bad because we already went ahead and tried it out. So we're going to need another one of these. We are going to need a basic battery. We're going to need some of these. I'm going to need another one of these. I should just make up a bunch of redstone blocks. I don't know what I'm doing with my life here. So we'll get some of those bad boys. We'll get another basic battery. And then we do need some of those. And then we should be able to get a basic battery here. So if we go into this and I then shift click into it, as you can see, it has now bumped it up to 1 million storage. So that is how you can change what is contained within what is withheld in here. And it does vary based upon the size of the storage that you put in there. So we did put 1 million in there, so it's going to hold 1 million here, which is actually pretty nice because 1 million will be stored here, and then we'll have 4 million here. So you're almost sitting at 5 million. So that should be fine, and it is set to channel 1, which is perfect. That's all we need to do. So then when you set up any ender gates, they should automatically work for you. So going back over to our area over here, and I will admittedly say that I have not been using our elevator as it should be. I just use my jetpack to get up and down when I am working really hard like this. But I do have this set up. Now this is set to 1, and we are facing what, north? We want to have receive and extract. So it'll go into the controller and then go into the receiver here. Now with this, I had to set it up this way because you can't put power directly to this network receiver. I tried every cable. It does not work in that way. Now I don't know if I can also put a wireless one on here and have it work like that as well. Yeah, the transmitter's not in range. I don't know if I can hook it to this one as well or not. We're kind of figuring it out as we go here, honestly. But we did run into another problem. Our network transmitter. Boy, does it take a ton of power. I am not even kidding you guys. It takes so much power for it to run. It pretty much drained our backlog of power in our setup pretty much instantaneously. So I came into here. In here we have about 100,000, right? I put this bad boy on here, and it'll start dwindling. Well, it did dwindle pretty quickly there before, but for some reason now it is okay. Maybe it's because I don't have it linked to it. If I put the link in here, yeah, it starts decreasing fairly rapidly here. It just cannot keep up with it, but it does say 88 blocks. So now our range should be able to reach out here. So if we come into here, I don't think we even need that wireless transmitter. Oh, we might still need it. Okay, it did say 88 blocks away. All right, and if I come down here, all right, I'm trying to do this relatively quickly. Oh, uh-oh. Did that... What happened here? It didn't work? Is it too far away? I mean, if I click a link to this, it's not going to work. Interesting. Okay. There's no wireless transmitter. Yeah, now we can hit it, obviously. What is going on here? Did we run out of power that quickly? I didn't think we would run out of power that quickly. No, we're still doing pretty solid. We are dwindling down relatively quick, though. Yeah, it's linked 88 blocks away. Interesting. All right, let me tinker with it just a little bit here. All right, am I a big old dummy? Yes, I am. And I'm sure that probably most of you, or at least one or two of you, have already paused the video and are click-clackety in the comments down below to let me know, hey dude, you set it up wrong. I know, I realized it. We don't have to set it up in the way that we did. It should work without having the controller on it like I did have it set up. It should get power from the system once it's linked. So you can set it up just like this. with a wireless transmitter with a cable. I don't even think you need the cable, actually. You could probably place it right on top of the network receiver with the network receiver here. But just like so, we should be able to access our inventory, which is perfect. But I also made some range upgrades, so this should work perfectly fine now. So now we have a much larger range. Now, this is only a part of our base. Realistically, it'd probably make more sense if we had put it maybe like over in this direction a little bit more. But we could see how far we can get. Yeah, it's already not in range because it's so low down. That is why. But we come right here and we're in range. So we have it accessible over here now, which I think is fine. I think we're going to be using a lot more of our inventory over here compared to the to where our future stated builds will be. And when we get to that point, we can obviously upgrade. So, but let's get a nice picture of this boy. Very simple setup. Again, guys, I'm sorry that I probably misled a few of you on how we're setting this up right off the bat, but I was learning as we go as well. Just like maybe you guys are as well. I'm sure some of you already knew how it needed to be set up. But for me, I just need a little bit of a refresher. So nothing wrong with that. But we now have this set up, which is perfect. I love that we have this capability. But the one thing we do want to keep in mind is the power pull from using the transmitter and receiver. So if we head back over to our main storage area, we can take a look in our controller here and see it uses 156 FE per tick. And I'm guessing most of it is going to be from that. Yes, 64 FE per tick from the transmitter there. You also have to take into account an additional 40 from having another wireless transmitter on there. So that is about 100 extra FE per tick that is coming into play here. So again, just keep that in mind. But what we can do, well, what I did is I set up an Endergate to this. So pretty much you just plop this down, have it set to the right channel, and have it input output onto wherever you want it. This is creating plenty of power, but I think it's about time that we unfortunately tear down our wire transfer. I mean, it's time. We've progressed to the point where we have this awesome wireless possibility with power, and I think it's time that we tear these down. They're just not needed anymore. They don't transfer the power as quickly as we would like them to, and it just makes more sense to condense rather than separate out systems. So let's get these taken out. They do look cool, don't get me wrong, but for where we are at, they're just not needed. So we're going to take these out, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to link this additional boy into our main setup here. We'll get this out of here. We'll get this taken off of here. And we will take these off as well. So pretty much what we're going to do is move him and have him be right here. We got to move some additional things here. So let me do that. I think we'll also upgrade in the process. So let me move one or two things, and I'll bring it back so we can upgrade maybe both of our thermal generators. All right, guys. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned up our power generation area. I've also taken our thermal generators here and gotten rid of any power that's stored in them, because if you do upgrade them, in order to craft the upgrade, you have to have ones that do not have any stored power. So in order to do that, you just place them in the inventory here in a crafting grid, and it'll remove any power in it. Now, do keep in mind, you do lose that power. So if you want to keep it, make sure you drain it out beforehand. But anywho, now we have everything together. You do need energized steel, which we've been through before. You need to take gold and iron in the energizing orb to get it. It's pretty easy to do. You also need hardened capacitors. Again, been over that pretty much. And then the thermal plate, which we do need blaze powder for, which we have plenty of now because I have been hunting for them. So we have everything we need to get both of our upgraded or hardened ones, which is awesome because it generates 180 FE per tick, which is perfect. And both of those then will be feeding into our system. Now, if we take a look here, we did the hardened one. The next one up is blazing, which would be really, really cool to do. But you do need blazing capacitors, and you need these blazing crystals, which you get from taking blaze powder or blaze rod in a energizing orb. And you only get 1-to-1. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And if you take a look at this, you need 1 here, and then 4 here, and then 4 on the other side. So you need Well, no, because this makes 2. So you'll need 4. So you need 5 for this one, and then 5 for the other one, right? Yeah. So 10 in total you'll need to make up to get to the blazing level. And I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to do it. So we might take some time and actually get to this next tier here. So let me get some stuff together. All right, guys. So we are good to go here. I got everything crafted up, got all of the blaze rods put through. I actually just ended up going to the nether and killing some blaze to get some blaze rods because it was way quicker. And with looting on our sword, I mean, I probably took out maybe 8 blazes and I got like over 40 blaze rods. It's insane. It's so nice to have some good looting on this. Unfortunately, we got this guy being annoying. But we can take them out pretty easily. We'll just stick this stuff away. We don't need that on us. Might need this on us, but we should have everything we need. So we have our hardened thermo generator, and we have our blaze crystal. I also went ahead and crafted up everything else that we need here. So we go to power. And as you can see, we have our blazing capacitors. So I already went ahead and made one of them to help continuously power what we needed to do. And these do generate 400 FE per tick or 400 RF per tick. Oh, this guy, get out of here. Which is pretty crazy. I mean, that's gonna pretty much keep us consistent. I mean, you can look at this. This pretty much is just one of these running along with a magmator going, which this only does 70 FE, which we should upgrade this as well, since we do have an awesome wireless way of transmitting lava from the nether up to this to work. But let's put this on here, and then we do need actually another pipe here. Basic logistical, that's for items. Universal for that. Do I not have any more basic universal cables? Wow, okay, holy smokes, I didn't think I'd see this coming. So I think it's mechanism, if I am not mistaken here, and they are the mechanical pipe, because this moves fluid. So we need this, and that's why it takes so much, because it takes steel in order to get those going, and I'm not a fan of having to do that. But that should have everything it needs now. We could actually store these away. I keep a lot of our stuff over here, like a lot of our technology-focused items over here, but our energy cell is at max capacity. These guys are going to be backlogging power at 400 EF per tick or 400 RF per tick, which is insane. This is awesome. We could easily get some more going in here. Upgrade the magmator. If we take a look at power and the magmator, what do we have here? The basic one, upping up to the hardened one actually would not be that bad at all. We do need some hardened capacitors and things like that, but it goes up to 180, which is pretty much double. And then if we bump up to the next one, the blazing, it does 400 as well. So I feel like your best bet, though, is to go the thermo generator route, because all this really needs is water. And if you have it set up using an electric pump from Mechanism where you only need 1 block of water, or if you even used a sink from Cooking from Blockheads, which is an unlimited water source, you don't even need to supply power to that. You can just have it come out of a sink. So you don't even need to waste power like how we're wasting a little bit of power. But this thing just hardly, I mean, it uses 16... 16K, is that, I mean, that's, if I'm reading that right, that's a decent amount of power. So maybe we shouldn't have it set up like that. Maybe we should have our Cooking for Blockheads set up going. But I'll do that probably off camera, because we've already done a lot here and we need to wrap up the episode. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate it so very much. If you did enjoy this episode, feel free to leave a like down below. Better yet, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. If you are new here, you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. We did just hit 1,000 subscribers a couple days ago, which is awesome. I'm super excited for our next milestone, and I do appreciate all of the support of all the subscribers currently and all of the subscribers in the future. It's just an awesome thing to have gotten to after about 1.5 years of our channel being up and going. I'm really proud of it. So again, thank you guys for your support. But other than that, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Take it easy.